Put in a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is Rift Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Sensitive/offensive content disclaimer. Please note that this podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's playing. I gotta hide. This is really weird. I hope everybody's having a good evening. Welcome, travelers. Love that.
Sorry, it's catchy.
It is catchy. Let me
Good
try to
afternoon,
off,
travelers and those alike.
I don't know what's going
Welcome
on here.
to the RNN's Orion Effect.
Okay,
I am the
let's try this
social
again.
media hitman.
We're gonna try this again, Ed. Whoops. Well, that I think we're like at Mercury retrograde. Hello, everybody. I hope y'all are doing well. Let me try to get my I'm gonna try to get my slideshow back on here. Okay, there we go. Yay! Welcome to Mysteries Beyond the Scenes. Our videos were kind of messed up. Welcome tonight, you guys. So I was going down and I clicked Ed's video by mistake. So sorry about that, Ed. I hope you guys are having a great evening. Welcome to Mysteries Beyond the Scenes on the Rift Nation Network. I am your host, Joni Skinner. This is not the Orion effect. Whoops. But we are getting close to Mercury retrograde, so I'm going to blame it on that. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and that was a big whoopsie. But we are, I will let you guys in on a little secret. that nobody knows, and I know you guys watch the other Rift shows, but I'm just going to let you in on another little secret that we are, knock on wood, working on a new opening, and I'm sure probably maybe possibly a new closing. So we are working on that. We should have that done at least by the Orion effect on Sunday. So maybe we'll get all this opening and shutting down videos taken care of. It was Denise. It was a shout out to, yeah. So make sure and tune in to the Orion Effect on Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. with Miss Rhonda and Mr. Ed Odell. Whoops. So, but this is Wednesday evening. This is true crime. This is when forensic astrology meets true crime, where we try to solve mysteries and missing persons and just any kind of a mystery that we can come up with. We're on it. So I hope y'all are having a great, great Wednesday evening. It's almost Friday. Eclipse season for astrology people. We are ready to rock this eclipse season too. So, hello, let's take a look at the chat. I hope y'all are doing well. How is everybody tonight? Hello, Miss Lee and Michelle, Miss Cindy. Thanks, Renee. Miss Denise, how are you? Denise and Cindy, other fellow astrologers, and girls, all of my astrologers that are in the chat, Michelle, Denise, Cindy. Whenever I pull up a chart, if you see something, please chime in, girls. I would love that. Hello, Susan. So, astrologers in the chat, please, please chime in. I would love to have your input. Hello, Sir Keith. How are you? Chris, how are you? Denise, we are. It's so funny. We're having a mashup. I know I'm mashed up. Rhonda, whoopsie. I clicked the wrong opening. I hit the Orion effect. So I gave you guys a great plug. And you guys were taped, apparently. So we could have watched your whole show. Miss Rhonda, hello, Miss Lois, Miss Michelle, how are you? Michelle, I hope it wasn't me. I hope you're being safe down there with the tornadoes, Michelle. And Miss Tammy is shouting out to everybody in the chat. Hello, welcome. Here's Rhonda. I heard my own voice and I was like, what in the world? Whoops. Whoopsie. I know. I was clicking all kinds of buttons. You know, you never want to get a Libra in a panic mode because they don't know what they're doing. And we just start to click buttons. And that's how it is like in the car too. If the car starts doing weird stuff, we just start, it's like a panic thing for a Libra. You just don't panic a Libra because we do. We just start hitting buttons. And Tammy says to Michelle, happy you were able to pull away from Grizzly's healing stones. Here's how she made me chuckle. Whoopsie. Thank you, Miss Tammy, for liking and sharing. Appreciate it, you guys. Please share and like. That's wonderful. Thank you. Well, I hope you all are having a great week. We have so many new shows on the Rift, and please check out as Sunday through Saturday. We have some monthly shows on Saturday, so please check out the Travelers. It is go to Facebook. It is the Private Rift Nation Network Facebook page. I know. I was clicking all kinds of buttons. I'm like, where's Gene Hackman? Where's Gene? Gene left me. So please don't forget and check us out on the Rift Nation Network on our other Facebook page as well. So tonight, you guys, I did add in, after I had thought about Gene Hackman's The Astrology, and him and his wife were found, as we all know. But then also a little 2-year-old boy went missing in Oregon. So I thought I would put that one in there too. for little Dane. So we'll get through Gene Hackman and then a missing person. So Miss Tammy, you have 2 cases tonight, which I know you love the best. I know that's what you like. So for Miss Tammy, she's got 2 cases tonight. So let's get started. I'll tell you, stop clicking buttons. As you all know, Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy were found on February 26th. I mean, not that far. You know, for you young girls and guys, Gene Hackman to me, when we were growing up, was the ultimate movie star. Now, I don't know if you all remember him in the movies. He was in 80 films, 2 Oscars. He was the ultimate Hollywood star. He never seemed to give out, you know, an arrogance, or he was just a great actor. And I think that's, you know, that was when Hollywood was very respected. He was a well-respected actor, one of the greats. When I was growing up, he was in so many movies. The French Connection. He was in. I mean, it just goes on and on. Just a great, great actor. And if anybody else has anything to put in some info on Gene Hackman, please do. In 2004, Gene Hackman retired, and he and Betsy, his second wife, had been married since 1991. They did not have any children together. However, he had 3 children from a previous marriage. He moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And this is a picture of their house. Now, people said that he was a recluse, but he really wasn't. When I did the information for the show tonight, he was very active in his little community. He was very loved in his community, he and Betsy. They would go to meetings. They were seen out. He was 95 years old. We have to remember that. He was 95 years old. Now, his daughter came out and gave a statement that he had no real serious health issues, no surgeries, no health issues. I mean, I'm sure every 95-year-old, my mother was 96, so they're going to have health issues. I mean, however, but as far as like surgeries or whatever, she said there weren't. So this is his beautiful home out in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And there's another shot of his home, and it's in a gated community. And what happened is one of the subdivision supervisor just went to check on the house and looked in the window on February 26th and saw Betsy laying down on the ground. And his 911 call was, just get somebody here quick. He said on the 911 call, now this is what's a little bit fishy. The police reported that the door was open. So the supervisor said the door's locked. I can't get in. But I mean, you know, I don't know if that's all that fishy or not. Now, there's another picture of this beautiful home. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. Now we've got, here they are. Now this is an older picture. This was on the red carpet in Hollywood. She actually didn't seem to age. I'm telling you, now this was one of the very last photos of him taken. He was 95. She was 65. So, I mean, 95 years old. And this was one of the last pictures of him taken. And this is another picture of them going into the up their driveway. Now, what had happened, let me see. What had happened is they found on the inside, Betsy was in the bathroom next to a space heater with a bottle of prescription pills scattered on the floor in the bathroom. And they found a dog, and this unfortunately, one of the dogs was deceased as well. I've heard stories of the dog was in a closet and then it was in a kennel. So that's mixed information as well. Gene Hackman was found on the other area of the house in the mudroom. It appeared that he had fallen. His cane was there and his sunglasses. But law enforcement said it appears that he had fallen. So it's almost like, did he fall? Did she run to go get medication? What have you? So let's see. We'll see what else we've got. Now, so what I did is I pulled up his birth chart, the natal chart, because I did an event chart, but because they called this death suspicious, but they're just saying it's suspicious because 2 people passed away, the door was left open, but they don't think there was absolutely no foul play. None at all. So what happened is, on his birth chart, he was born January 30th, 1930. So I'm going to point to a couple of things that are very, very telling on his chart. This is probably, let's see, we've got the ascendant, which is his physical body. Pluto is transiting right up into his first house of the physical body. Look at the 6th house, which when something like this happens as an astrologer, you look at the 1st house, which is the physical body, the 6th house, which is health. And that's what we kind of look at first. So Mars was exactly on his natal Pluto, and his natal and transiting Pluto was hitting his 1st house. The sun was directly hitting his ascendant as well. Okay. Out in the open, which would have been up at the midheaven, Jupiter was there. Uranus was triggered. So nothing here. The North Node was hitting Uranus, which would be sudden, which was very, very sudden. That happened on his natal chart. So Uranus was in the home, which would be an accident in the home. You know, all indications from this look like the home to me. Right. The pills that they did find were blood pressure medicine, thyroid medicine, and Tylenol. That was it. Blood pressure, Tylenol, and thyroid medicine. That's what they found. Or, you know, did she have a medical episode? You know, we keep thinking, well, he was 95, maybe he fell. Perhaps she went and fell and hit her head in the bathroom going for medications. We just don't know. We just don't know. So at 1:45 on February 26th is when the 911 call came in. So as you can see, it's crazy. Look at the black line. That would be friends, social. The pink arrow is the phone call. So we've got an older man with the sun. Venus would be Betsy out in the open. Betsy was out in the open. So that was the phone call. The supervisor called, just get here, accident. Mars is on the AC. They didn't know what happened. But when you've got anything in the 10th house on an event chart, they're out in the open. So they saw Betsy. So it's out in the open. He was up there. There was the phone call. That was the event chart. Now, I didn't get her birth date. Okay, now here we go. Now, with the event chart, they did come back with the autopsy. He had an event with his pacemaker. It stopped working on February the 17th, which meant they were there for 9 days, laying there. 9 days. He had that, his pacemaker had stopped. So when we take a look at it, two people in the first house, that's Gemini, is represented by two people. And we do have two victims. We have him and we have her. And the moon would be the co-ruler. The moon rules the heart. So we've got, it looks like we've got that. I circled it in black. And we're going to have to wait and see what they come up with. Neptune would be the pills scattered all over the place. Neptune would be the pills. So up in the 10th house, out in the open, we have the victims, which would be represented by Mercury. I circled them up in the 10th. Remains would be Saturn. So right next, there would be the remains. And there you go. The pills would be represented by Neptune. Now, she would be Venus. And she looks like she was the one that is connected with Mars. So I'm going to say, I'm just going to go out on a limb, and I'm really going to guess here that she is the one that suffered the accident. That I bet you they're going to find out. However, the autopsy showed there was no trauma. There was no trauma. There was zero trauma to either body. There was nothing amiss in the home. Nothing was out of place in the home. They have their phones. They have their day planners. They have everything. So the police are saying this is not foul play. Pluto's connected to everybody, which would be death. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that she had the accident. Just because Uranus is there with the accident. But, there's nothing nefarious about this chart. It was definitely an accident, I would say. Let's see what Rhonda's saying. This is what I was wondering, if she had an incident and he found her and was rushing to call an ambulance or something and fell. That very well could be as well. That very well could be. We all think, oh, it was him. But I'm just wondering if it was her. The chart is, well, not if she was holding a pill bottle. I drop pills all the time. I do. In the morning when I'm getting up, and if I'm taking like my blood pressure medicine, I bet you I have pills scattered all in my kitchen somewhere where they fell. I'm constantly dropping pill bottles. I'm really good at it. I'm good at it. I'm not kidding. It's like every morning. Yeah, for 9 days. It was blood pressure medicine. Just saying. I've been on blood pressure medicine since I was 35. So I don't know. It's crazy. Okay, and here's Tammy. And then maybe he panicked because she was unalive. And that's what Rhonda said as well, and was trying to get the dog put away so he could call 911, and he had a heart attack. You know, that's two of you guys saying that. I thought it was starving. Not wondering if it was high blood pressure. Maybe, you know, or possibly what if she fell and just hit her head too? You know, the carbon monoxide, everything came back. No poisoning, no carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide would have been shown by the, would be Neptune. Nothing. Nothing. The only thing that this chart is, and you know, we really don't have a good time because we don't know. We just, the time is so funny. I believe it was, I think it's more or less like an accident. And Laura said her cousin passed away 2 days ago, complained about shoulder hurting, then having a severe migraine. Doctor sent her home without checking her heart. She died. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's a shame. That's a shame. That's a darn shame. Well, honey, I'm sorry to hear that. You know, that could be too that the dog was in a kennel or in a closet. We don't know. The other two dogs that survived were apparently going in and out the door, although the supervisor said the door was locked. Maybe the front door was locked and the back door had like a dog gate or something where the dogs could go in and out. There was an article today that said that Betsy absolutely would do anything for those dogs. She loved those dogs more than anything in the world. They were her life. So it's just really weird. Yeah, 9 days. You know, now here's another thing that I thought was a little odd. You know, his children came out and said, you know, they had good relationship. You know, he was worth $80 million. $80 million. And, you know, the kids came out, but 9 days, and your dad's 95 years old, and you don't call like once a week, maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong. You know, they all said that Betsy took such wonderful care of him. And maybe, you know, I don't know. I hate to be judgmental with that. The dog being put away makes it seem like there was a call that didn't get made. Yes. I don't have a dog, so I don't know anything about kennels. You know, when we were little, or when we did have a dog, we never put dogs in kennels. That's very new to me. I don't know what that means. If people put them there, or why they put them there, or why do they put a dog in a little box in the house? I don't understand that. I don't understand it. But if that's what you guys are, they put the dog away thinking that maybe it would get out or something. I felt she had a stroke, something, she collapsed. Could be. Very well could be. We're going to have to wait and see. It is a huge mystery. This is a big mystery. And I think that's why people are so just kind of keeping an eye on it, because it is, Michelle, it's a mystery. I don't know what to think either. And, you know, the astrology is not real. It's a little sketch. It's not the only chart that is really, really telling is his natal chart. This is the only one that's really, really telling. And that was on the day that his pacemaker stopped. The only one that's telling is his natal chart. Now, if I could find, you know, I could look for her birth chart, and maybe that could give us some more answers. And I did not look. I didn't, you know. Uranus was in the 4th house, which is the home. That would indicate an accident or a fall or, an incident like that. His death it's clearly there. Pluto conjunct Mars and Pluto ingress into the ascendant, into the 1st house. It's pretty clear. And I know the lunar nodes were triggered as well. So there's more on his natal chart than anything. He's got that Aquarius stellium in the 1st house. That's powerful. Very, very powerful. So that is Gene Hackman. We're going to have to watch this because it's a big mystery. It is a big mystery. Okay. Okay. I wouldn't want the dog to get out if I called EMS. Okay. My indoor kennels are big enough to stand up in them. Yeah, and they had all German Shepherds as well, Tammy. And Keith says, but the dog just died in the home along with Hackman and wife. Sounds like a common substance killed all 3. Keith, when I first heard this, my first thought was carbon monoxide or gas. And they're claiming that that all came back negative. So that was my first thought, was like carbon monoxide, especially if the dog, they all passed with the dog. I wonder, do you think they're going to do an autopsy on the dog? Do you think they'll do an autopsy on the dog? Yeah, they've got their phones. Yeah, it's an open investigation because they did deem it suspicious, but not like a criminal suspicious. Yeah, and Keith said 9 days in a kennel, no food or water. Yeah, that we're aware of. Yeah, that was Linda's thought too, carbon monoxide. Well, what I thought was funny is they found her near a space heater, which meant, is there space heater? I had all those space heaters out when I lost my heat a couple weeks ago, and my heater went out and I didn't have any heat in the house. And I use those space heaters and they are dangerous as well. I don't know. It's crazy. It's a mystery. Probably access to H2O. Yeah, the others probably did, maybe outside or in their. I don't think so. I just don't think so. Because it was a gated community. So they really should do an autopsy on them. I agree, Keith. It was a gated community, in and out with a guard. So, I mean, it was locked up tighter than a drum, I believe. It was locked up. State of the bodies would be another odd thing. Well, the state of the bodies, they said they were mummified. She was starting to be mummified, which is not unusual in the climate in New Mexico, which is like there's no humidity. And what if she was next to a space heater and it was plugged in? Jeez, yikes. Was it? I don't know what it was. They had a gas fireplace. Oh, listen. Space heaters can give up carbon monoxide. I had one almost kill me. The good old, and the oil starts burning. They get old and the oil starts burning. Yes, they, and that's funny too, Keith. When my heat pump went out last week, a week and a half ago, and I didn't have any heat, and I had 3 space heaters going because it was cold, and I was up and down all night long, like getting up because I was so freaked out because I had space heaters going, but we didn't have any heat. But we were fine. But they're just not. They scare me. they scare me. So that is the mystery of Gene Hackman, you guys. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this. I'll keep you guys updated as well. And I have some updates on the Idaho 4 too, that some DNA testing with Koberger. Remember the 4 kids that were unalived at the college, that they are saying now that there were 3 DNA matches found under one of the victim's fingernails. 3 different DNAs. It's inconclusive for Koberger. So they do not have DNA matching Koberger. So I have to look more into that and talk to you guys about that next week. But this case just came to my attention, and it's a sad case. It's in Silitz, Oregon. And it looks like it's, Silitz, Oregon is like looks a little west of Salem, right on the coast. And as you can see, that is what is called the Silitz River. Okay. Now, what happened this was on Saturday night, March the 1st. I can't believe it's already March. Isn't that crazy? Little Dane Paulson, 2 years old, little Dane Paulson was out playing in the yard at 4:30 in the afternoon. Look at this angel. Now, ignore this car, because when the missing person report came in, they thought there was a car that could have been suspicious. That has all been taken out of the picture. It was a vehicle of interest, but however, that's all been taken out of the picture. So little Dane Paulson was out in his front yard around 4:30 in the afternoon playing and was gone. That's it. Gone in a flash. And 2-year-olds, I've had a little boy that was 2 years old, and they are quick. So, I mean, they can be gone very, very quickly. And I'm going to show you their house. This is a picture of their house. This is a gated driveway. It looks like a gated with a fence. That's their front yard. Now, look at that area. Surely you could let's say, let the child out. Oh, I'm going to run and grab something out of the garage, and I will be right back. Whatever. And by the time a parent or whoever was watching little Dane got back, Dane was missing. So that's the home. But wait until you see this, you guys. This is that's another shot of the home. Look at that angel, little 2 years old. Of course, the entire community, search and rescue, the community volunteers, everybody is out searching for this little child. Wait, I thought I had a better picture. Oh, okay. Here is a picture. Now now right behind, in this wooded area behind the home, is, guess what? The river and the bridge, which is very, very close to their home, within a quarter of a mile. And you'll see it on the map, is the river. So, but that's a big front yard. Look at that. Now, when I pulled up, they said 4:30. So I got out the event chart. I hurried up and I did it. And look at that, you guys. And I didn't even want to. This was horrible. The 8th house, unfortunately, is the house where we can see if someone is usually alive or not. Now, this has been 4 days, and you don't want to give up hope ever. I would never want to give up hope for a child. Never. Now, when we have a small child like that's 2 years old, normally it's just they are represented by the moon. Usually in forensic astrology, we use the moon and whatever planet is ruling the ascendant. But in this particular case, I just used the moon. So immediately, what struck me is the 8th house. And look at the 8th, it's all in Pisces, which is water. So another indication of a child is Mercury. Mercury or Leo is in the rising. He could be represented by the sun. The sun is up there. So the first place I would check is around the water. Uranus is up in the 10th house, which represents out in the open. Law enforcement, he is up at Uranus is there, which would indicate could be an accident. I would say he's out in the open. And then we've got Pluto sitting right on the descendant at 2 degrees. So this chart is just kind of heartbreaking, because it's all water. Yeah, and that's what Linda said. They've had yeah, what happened is they have been searching I think they said over 600 miles of wooded area. They hit the wooded areas first. Now, I think as of today, they've been searching the water, but now they're concentrated in the water. So, like I said, I never want to give up hope, but I think they need to check the water area. Taurus would be woods, not far from my son. I would say check around the woods by the water. There's a little boy missing out that way. Search parties have been out for days. That would be little Dane. That's little Dane. That's close to your son. That's who they've been looking for since Saturday. They've been looking for him, and they have brought out the cavalry looking for this child. Now, what the police are saying is that they basically are searching around the water. If people want to volunteer, they gave them parameters to volunteer, that to dress appropriately. If you're around the riverbed, you should wear a life jacket. Of course, have a safety plan, tell people where you're at. And then people were meeting to go in groups to assist law enforcement. So the public is really, really helping on this one. So here is the map. I mapped it now. As you can see, let me find another map real quick. Wait a minute. Whoops. Okay. Now this is the map. The blue pin is the home. So as you can tell, the home is right up to the riverbank, Sillets River. And then there's the bridge over to the east. So the bridge is not far at all. And that the river is like right in their yard, it seems like. How many miles did I do? That's a quarter. Let's see. I went a sixth of a mile. So a quarter of a mile. That's what I mapped out, a quarter of a mile. But as you can tell, if you remember, you guys, when we had the case with the young boy down in Nashville, if you guys remember the case that we had in Nashville where the young boy went missing and every line went right to the river, that reminded me of this map. Every single line is headed to the river, north to the river. I don't know how much a 2-year-old would remember or know a riverbank. I know they can get away from you. And again, here's another view of where the mapping shows us. I would look all around here in this area by the woods. By the woods. Oh, I think they're Dirk, I think they're going to find him because of the fact, hope they find him. I think they're going to. When you look at the event chart, it's up in the midheaven. Whenever we have anything happening up in the 10th house or the midheaven, that means they're out in the open. And 9 times out of 10, they'll be found. I'm sure he's going to be found. Now, see, as you can tell, like this line, this riverbank, if you notice, they've got like little like areas that are carved in. It's a beautiful, beautiful river. It's a rough river as well. Let me go back and show you some other areas. It looks like a beautiful, beautiful area. Again, there's that map. Okay, here's kind of like an overhead of it. I would check, and remember, we look where the wedges are. Go all on this whole bank, which would be across from them. It would have been across from the home. But all of those lines up on that river, like in these little jutted off areas like that, that would be Taurus, Taurus with the woods. So I sure hope they find the little one, just an angel, just a complete little angel. Those cases, they just break your heart, Little ones wander off that quick. Look at that. So we'll have to see. Have you guys heard of this case? Have you guys heard of this case? Now, volunteers, and then if anybody has any information on Dane, here's the number, 541-265-0669. 541-265-0669. And you can get on the newspapers and information if you are in this local area to join some of the search parties and the search groups that are going out. Because there are a lot of them. Dams or fish ladders along the rivers. Yeah. And it seems like it's running very rapidly from the pictures. It seems like it's running pretty rapidly. And they've been searching. They have been searching. Haven't heard of this case. He just went missing on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. She's been missing for 4 days. Now, we've had cases where the little ones, they have found them after 4 days and they were alive. We've had cases like that. So, and it was around a 2-year-old child. So let's just hope. I don't know what the weather is like there. I know, just an angel, just a complete angel. So sad. Have not heard anything about this one. I know. I sure hope. I would love it if they would find him in the woods. But I think they've covered a huge, huge area in the wooded area. But they've found them before, so we'll keep our fingers crossed. The terrain, they're talking about how the terrain is in Oregon. Lois, it's in Oregon, near the coast. And here is a picture of the river. And look, it's got rocks. It's got that very rough bank. And here's a picture, as you can see, of the bridge that's close to their house as well, where there's also rapids, and the terrain is just, it looks like it just drops down from that bridge. Just very, very rough terrain. Yeah, they've got everything. And they're doing them in the evening as well. They're doing the night vision stuff. Oh, they will. I think they will. Yeah, Linda, I've been watching it too. Keeping an eye out. They've got a wonderful community and a wonderful support community for the family as well. Very, very wonderful, support group. It's getting warmer, but the evenings are cool. It may be raining a bit there. Yeah. It is sad, but they've been doing the thermal night vision as well. So that's the mapping on that one. So Miss Tammy, you got 2 of your cases this week. So I hope you're happy. In the winter, it just, I thought, well, next week I'm going to get some of the older cases that we've looked at and see if we can get any additional information on those cases and find out what's, some follow up on them. I know the Idaho 4 and just, see if there's any more cases that are out there for next week. Oh, yeah, gosh, I wish I was closer. I know. It'd be cold for you, Miss Tammy. It'd be cold for you. Oh, she's got 2 cases. Ecstatic. That's good. Does anybody else in the chat have anything else they want to chime in on? How's everybody doing? Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Miss Linda. It is sad. It's always hard to see a little one. It's just so sad. My heart goes out for the parents. It really does. And little ones can get out from underneath of you very, very quickly. We all know that. And they're gone in a heartbeat. They're gone. They take off. And it's boys. Girls don't do that. Boys do it. They're off in a shot. So, but thanks you guys for tuning in. Yeah, everybody send out our prayers. And if you guys don't forget to tune in to the Rift Nation Network Sunday through Saturday, every night. And we are working on a new ending, new closing, and a new intro for the show. Oh, I love you all too. Thanks you guys for tuning in and sharing your Wednesday evening with me. And have a great week. Remember, it is eclipse. March is eclipse season. So remember to take good care of yourselves. Be patient. Be kind. March is a really whacked out astrology month for everybody. We've got 2 planets in retro. This month we've got Venus and we're going to have Mercury. And we also have Neptune shifting. So be careful, be kind to everybody and get a lot of rest. When the planets shift like what they're doing right now, it can be very tiring for people. It can be exhausting. So get enough rest and have a super safe week. Have a great week. And we don't have an ending anymore because we don't have an ending anymore because we're in a changeover where we're going to get the new ending and a new beginning for the Rift Nation shows. Totally whacked. Started with the first. I know it, Michelle. I know it. Totally whacked. It's really coming in like, what is it? In like a lamb, out like a lion. In like a lion, out like a lamb. I don't think it's in like a lamb, out like a lion. I think it's coming in like a lion and putting people on their rear ends. Whatever that is. Great show. Have a great week too. You guys do as well. Have a good one. And thanks you guys for joining in to Mysteries Beyond the Scenes. And I will see you guys next Wednesday at this time with a new intro and a new ending for the show. I guess I'll try to do an ending. Let's see if I can find one. I'll probably end up doing the Orion effect. This says welcome, but it's the only one I could find for my show. You guys have a great week. I'll see you next week. Thank you.